Many Roblox players think old Roblox is better than current Roblox. In fact, 78% of my community thinks that old Roblox is better. But I think Roblox now is better than Roblox back then, and here's why. Firstly, most people think that Roblox's current community is terrible compared to the community back then. And don't get me wrong, our current community is not something to be proud of, but Roblox had same flaws in their community back then that could be worse than what it is now. So if you're one of the people that thinks the community of Roblox was innocent back then, you have to realize that moderation was a mess. And yeah, let's just say some players took their opportunity. Roblox players could curse, they could say all this outrageous stuff that Roblox doesn't filter out. Like, you could never get away with having this username in 2024. So yeah, the looser moderation definitely allowed more freedom, but my point is, the community back then wasn't this pure innocent gold that people remember it as. Because let's admit it, you're never gonna be able to say that in current Roblox. But there is another part of Roblox's community that people look down upon: the online daters. Yeah, the online daters right now are not great, but that was also a thing back then. Remember these guys? But more importantly, do you remember Meep City back then? Those who remember what happened at Meep City parties know exactly what I'm talking about here. But for those that don't, it's better that you don't know anything. Just know that the questionable things that happen now happened back then as well. Now, I didn't do like a research on online daters back then, but I guarantee you people were still online dating back then in like 2010. And if you don't believe me, just look at Flamingo's ex-Roblox girlfriend in 2009. But I do have to agree that current online daters in Roblox are more concerning than they were before, simply because of the inappropriate items available. Speaking of, this is what some old Roblox fans seem to be against: the current catalog. They think the current catalog is full of trash and unoriginal UGC items. And sometimes I agree with them. Some UGC items are horrendous, but most deserve appreciation. If you're someone like me who started playing Roblox in 2016 or anything like that, there was very little freedom in customizing your Roblox avatar, because there were only a select amount of hairs, hats, and accessories that Roblox made on their own. Well, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like a citizen of North Korea only permitted to wear 40 different haircuts. I'm just saying the creativity that you could have with your avatar back then pales in comparison to the options you have now. There are so many hairs, hats, and accessories available currently that I would have loved to have in 2016 as a kid. Also, clothing. Remember clothing back then? It was full of copy-pasted Adidas or Nike shirts with galaxy backgrounds and whatnot. But current Roblox, on the other hand, offers much more variety than just galaxy shirts, and a higher quality, which is kind of obvious. So although there are some flaws in this UGC catalog, as I mentioned earlier with the inappropriate items, I would much prefer to have access to the current catalog than the current catalog back then. But probably the most mentioned aspect is the games on Roblox. People argue that Roblox games back then were full of innovation and passion that you don't seem to see now. Well, if we're talking about Roblox in 2006 through 2012, no matter how creative or innovative they might be, they do not stand a chance compared to any Roblox games now, which I think is obvious. For example, the toilet tower defense game that I clown on every single video would be considered a unique game in 2006 and 2012, although it is pretty trash, but it's not trash compared to the games in 2006 through 12. So when people say Roblox games back then were full of innovation and passion, I'm assuming they're talking about Roblox games from 2016 through 2020. But when comparing old Roblox to new Roblox games, I'm aware that from a developing standpoint, current Roblox is miles ahead of Roblox games back then, simply because developers now have way more access to things that people didn't have in 2016 through 2020. So I'm not going to mention graphics or anything like that. But what I will mention is that there were lots of unoriginal games back then, just like there are now. The countless battleground games and RNG games that I clown on in every single video are the same as the countless amounts of Escape Fast Food Obby or Escape Dentist Appointments Obby, or even the Tycoon games that are all the same thing except based on different shows or movies. But let me tell you, instead of making making 8-minute videos complaining about tycoons and obbies. In 2016, I hopped on and ate those games up like candy. Because I'll be straightforward, I was a kid and I probably had like 3 brain cells to work with. So I assume that's probably what the kids in 2024 are doing now, playing games like Brookhaven, Blade Ball, or Toilet Tower Defense instead of games like Tycoons and Obbies that I played when I was a kid in 2016. But don't get me wrong, I still stand by the fact that they are terrible games, but that's just because I'm not a kid anymore. I think if I was a kid from 2016 and traveled to 2024, I would have played Battleground games, I would have played RNG games, heck, I would even play Toilet Tower Defense all day.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Yes, I know, there are copy-paste games and there's a lot of them, but there are also lots of quality games on the Discover page. They might not necessarily get as high of a player base, but the games are still there. But I do have to say, I understand why people think current Roblox games lack innovation. Because it does somewhat. There are innovative games now, but the biggest problem is that there's a lot of competition in current Roblox. So it is way harder for a new Roblox developer to get the recognition they want or even deserve compared to back then. Because let's be real, Lil Timmy with a passion project is not beating a studio with a 20 million Roblox budget. And this results in many passion projects like Lil Timmy's being overshadowed by games that simply follow the trend. Because apparently Roblox loves trends, which then results in a Discover page full of games with no real creativity that just follow trends. And in that sense, sure, old Roblox was better just because of the quality games that you could find on the front page. But I still stand by the fact that current Roblox is better because there is a solution. For example, I found plenty of good games to play from the recommended for you section at the homepage. But if even that doesn't help, make sure to subscribe to my channel because my goal is to make Roblox great again. I would have said old Roblox is better if there wasn't any innovation, but the truth is there is innovation right now. It's just that it's being overshadowed by trendy games. So in terms of the debate of old Roblox versus Roblox now, a lot of things that people mentioned like the community, games, and the catalog were as bad if not worse back then. One thing I do have to say though is that people are right about one thing. Events now are terrible. I mean, have you guys seen the egg hunt this year and the classic event on top of that? Even with the limited capabilities in development, past Roblox events were simply just better because Roblox cared more. They actually cared about making the events an enjoyable experience compared to now where Roblox seems to look at events as just another way to get more money. And yeah, I have to say, I do miss the events that I played back then. But for me, it doesn't matter that much. The concerts from Lil Nas X and like the sponsored events are not the best events that Roblox has produced, but at the same time I'm not gonna say old Roblox is better because of Lil Nas X concerts. So I still stand by my opinion that current Roblox is just better. But if you disagree, that's totally fine, and if you want, you can let me know about it in the comments. But if you're now convinced that you can actually have fun on Roblox, watch this video to learn how to have fun on Roblox again.